Mike Comtech coming to you here with another video. We're going to do a preparation on this squawker. He has got a problem. It doesn't work at all, and so we're going to prep it for the squawker board. And I have a squawker board, so we need to get to the main motor input. We need to get to the head motor input, and if I want to use the speaker, I'll go ahead and do that too. So we're going to gain access here to the internals, but we're not going to completely take it apart to do it. We're going to be doing it the way they mention in the instructions. So for to keep the beak's really nice on this one, so I want to keep it from getting all scuffed up. So I am going to put a rubber band around this part here. I think we can probably double it up, get it right on the end, like this. Get it up here a little more. So that way, if I'm rolling this thing around and such, then it won't mess up the beak, get them all scratched up. This one has, like I say, it has a good beak. So what we need to do, I'll take the battery pack out, get that out of the way. So we got to access this side over here. So we're going to do, should keep this, there we go. So we're going to do a we've got to retract these 3 tabs along this side, and then I'm going to try, instead of using a nipper, I put a cutter blade on my iron. It comes with a bunch of different tips, and I'm going to use this. It's not real wide, but I want to see if I can just burn through the plastic instead of I do have these diagonals, you know, they're an angle cut. You can see how they angle upward a little bit, and these are very, very sharp. So I'm going to try that first with the iron and see what we can do here. And but I don't want to cut a wire, and I want to keep it clean as possible too. So we'll go in here, we'll pull that tab back. Some of these can be they can be a little tough. See if I can't get the lower one down here first. Okay, that one came out. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit. That one came right out, so I got to get down here and get in this one here. Oh, that's tough. One thing about doing it live, if we can mess up, we'll mess up together. All right, there we go. On that one, you know, these were one-way snaps, you know, there. See, that one's real easy. Just depends. So I like to undo these 3, and then like on that other video I did, we can access the mouse motor, and right here's the mouse motor connector, that JST connector right here, that one. And then up in this plastic area, up farther in the body, So actually we'd be looking at it like this. So here is the purple connector, that one right underneath there. This is the one here, and then the other connector, this brown connector, this one is the motor, runs up to the motor to the body. So this goes straight to the two terminals on the motor and the body, and that other one, purple one, goes straight to the head motor, and then also I think I'll just go ahead and pick up the speaker, and that's the black connector, and it sits in there vertically. This one is pointing outward. So if I can't get this back a little bit, if I have to cut, I'd like to see if I can get at the latch back here and catch something so I can keep this out of my way. But right here, need to get this JST, unplug this one for sure, and get this one out. Don't be surprised if the outer case comes with it, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Just like that, see? The outer part of the JST came with it, but that's no big deal. Unplug that, and I'm going to set that right back down on those two pins on that circuit board. We'll just set that right back down on here. Get them to line up. And that happens a lot with these. They lock so tight that they get, when you pull that up, these aren't really mounted or glued or anything to the recipient pin. There we go. So now we're back. Well, I thought it was. It's not, I guess. I really got to rig something up to keep this back out of my way. Get a downward shot better here of this. Well, I may just come back to do that later. It's not necessary. We're not going to be using. I'm going to put it back on there. Got those two lined up. I'll try it one more time, and see if I can see it better. Going this route. Yeah, this is the way. That one's oh well, I will get it later. I'll get that connector later. So, like I said, I won't be using it. So I'm going to untuck this and get this one out of my way. And then where we have to be here is get those straightened back. And there's then the black connector for the speaker is right there, and that one sits in there vertically. So we're gonna try to see where that's running. I may want to nip that first without cutting the speaker cord, of course. That speaker shouldn't be anywhere near, should be running more vertically up to the other direction there. And then push these wires down. There's the two brown ones. I'm going to push those back down more where that's coming out of the JST connector the other way. And then let's try to give a little cut that direction. A little cut that direction. Yeah, I wish I could get that, put some kind of a clamp on that or something. All right, let's lift this up and see where I'm at. Yeah, didn't cut anything. That's good. Let's see. Do I have my other? If I go, probably make a little bit of a horizontal cut here to get this started. A little cut that way, and then maybe I can twist this piece right out of here. Just like that. Okay. So now you can see that I can get access to that brown connector now, or that black connector. Okay, let me shine the flashlight down here. Right there. Now I've got access to the black connector, and then that purple one was connected right next to it to the right. And then I got to put that JST cover back on. I'll just put it back on there. But now there's the two brown. Now those run to the speaker. So we're going to reach in and do the same thing with it, and then get it out here. We'll see if we take the top off of it too. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on squeezing the trigger. I'm just rocking that up so I can rock that out of there. And it came out fine without pulling the black outer part of the JST connector. Now I gotta fish this out of here. Okay, so there's the speaker, leads to the speaker, and then we got to go on up, and here's a better shot. This is the shot of the, let me get the reflection off of it. This is the picture of the this is the main board inside the Squawker right here. This is where I'm working right here. There's the purple connector that was facing outward. That runs to these two wires run to the head motor, and these two, the vertical connector, the black one, these two run to the speaker. And then we got a 4-pin connector, looks like a 4. Yeah, it's a 4-pin connector. And then we got to get to this one right here, that gray and the white one. So we got to get to the brown, that brown JST. And so go back to this diagram. It's sitting basically right here, so it's basically straight up from there, so across this seam right here. And so it's sitting here, skip, boom, boom, and then right there would be that connector. We're after that gray and the white one. We're after that one. So by looking at that, it's straight up from there. And we do have a hole here. And I can look right down in there and see it anyway. Right there it is. There's the gray and the brown right next to the yellow. So there's the brown, or the gray and the white. Yeah, the white. I can see it right there. So basically, we could probably get rid of this little tab right here. Let's get rid of this. I'll turn him around here. Let's get rid of this tab right here. That's the wire tuck anyway. And so we can snip that off. And I might be able to just reach in there. There's the little blue tab I just cut off right there, that little wire tuck tab. Might be able to get right might be able to get my needle nose in there and rock that one off there, but actually I can make a little more room. So let me check and see where my brown wire is running. It's high or low. Looks like it's tucked. Looks like it's tucked up above there. Let's see. Yeah, those wires are tucked down pretty good. So if I start cutting away at this section right here, I shouldn't get into my speaker. But I think I'll make this hole here. I know on camera it bleeds it out so bad. I think I'll make this square hole here a little bit bigger so I can gain access to that. So we can go, I can verify there are no wires that are going to be in my way here. So I can cut up a little bit this direction. Cut up a little bit this direction. Well, you know, while this plastic's cutting so good, I don't even think I'll even mess with using the iron. I didn't know if this was going to be like super hard plastic or if it was going to be something that cuts fairly easy. Actually, it's something that cuts fairly easy. Let me verify that there's nothing in the way here. No, there's nothing in the way there, so that's good. So we'll come down here, we'll give this a cut here too. And then we can maybe rotate this up a little bit where I want to get a horizontal cut in there if I can. Like that. And let's see, then we get a little bit more of a horizontal cut here to match this other one. And we can roll this back a little bit like that. Still in frame, yeah. Okay. So now we got a fairly decent hole here to work with. And then I'll just do this one, fold that back a little bit, make a cut right here, and now we'll see what we have. Tell you what, this plastic is tough stuff. Okay, so now we've got, yeah, so now we've got better access in here. So this is what we've got now. get this thing around here. This thing's slick. All right, so this is what we got now. If you can see that, we're after that brown connector right there. That brown connector is what we're after. Get that, like, see, I can't get any light in there from my shop light. I can have to put it in here for you this way. It's the one on the right, and it's got the gray wire leaving that top, that brown one, and then the yellow one, and then the yellow connector. So that gives me a good access area there to get into. And we'll do the same thing. I think I'll just make sure we got a nice square area to work with there. Where's this? I want to see where this black wire was going. And they've got these all, they've got them all wrapped and got them taped together. Okay, so we got to get this one off. So I'm going to try to do the same thing, but I don't think I can get beside that black wire. I don't want to get anywhere near it. This black one is the one I want to make sure I'm not going to snag into. See, they got it's a ground wire, and that goes on that. That's a ground lead, so I want to keep this away. But see, they've got them taped right back. You kind of know you can't see it. They got them taped right back in the back there. But I want to keep that black one away from where I'm trying to grab the top of this brown connector. And there's not a whole lot of slack there. Okay. So let's get back in here. Get right back on that and get right underneath those raised edges. There we go. All right, it's unplugged. Hopefully I have quite a bit of slack on that one. All right, so there it is. Okay, so now we could do a little testing on the power supply. Okay. All right, so now we can turn that off, because I know that's really blowing out the camera. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got our brown connector that goes up to the body motor. We've got our purple connector, goes to the head motor, and then we have our black connector with the two brown wires on it. That is our speaker. So we have 3 JSTs here. So now what I want to do now is fire up put my paperwork aside, and we'll fire up the lab power supply. Great. Fire it up, and I'm going to dial up about 3 volts. Okay, I'm going to turn my power supply on. We're going to dial about 3 volts, and I'm going to slide. I'm going to slide everything down here a minute, because I want to get the power supplies farther down here on the bench. So if we get here, I can stand them up here. And then we'll get you guys back in frame here. All right, I'm gonna get back in frame. So just like that, so I can see this area right here. Now I can I can take his blinder off. So we got to check make sure that the head works, the head motor and all that. So let's see, I'm gonna have to grab a couple of DuPont wires here. So there's the three. There's speaker, there's the body motor connector, and then here's the head motor connector. So I'm gonna grab my connectors here.
So much wine, beer, and fortune. Whiskey, cigars, and a deck of cards.
All right, okay. So I grabbed a couple alligator clips.
Don't let my skeletal appearance fool you. I know how to play this game. The question is, do you, kid?
Put those on. Let's try the body motor first. Let's see if, make sure we have anything without the body. So the little DuPonts have little pins on them. You got to find the little magic angle to get it started. That should probably be enough there anyway. All right, so here's the body motor. Let's turn him around. Turn him around where you can see. Yeah, you can see the face. All right, so I'm going to turn it back on. So I've dialed up 3 volts on my power supply. So this is what he'll do right now, running in that direction. So he goes through the head movement, tilts back and forth, does rock his head down, and then he rocks side to side, and then the 2 wings flip. Now let's see what happens if we reverse the polarity on the motor. Basically same action, but you know, different, not really different position, but just different timing. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, the body motor's good. Okay. All right, getting back straight here. Okay, so now let's try. Now we'll go for the head motor. Now the head motor will do different things when it gets reverse polarity. One direction, the mouth will open, hopefully it opens. One direction, the mouth will open, and the other direction will blink the eye. But on the Squawker board, we don't care about the blinking the eye. It's going to be running the mouth open and closing the lower mouth here. So I've got still 3 volts on the power supply. Okay, so there's the eyes. If I reverse the polarity, there's the mouth. There's the mouth moving. Yeah, so that's the mouth moving, and then if I reverse the polarity, it'll go back to blinking the eyes, and it's a repetitive action like that. Yeah, and both eyes are blinking fine. Okay. And then, like I say, we reverse it back again, and then it'll be the mouth movement. Okay, so we are ready to test out the Squawker board. We have all of our inputs ready to rock and roll. I could do the speaker. We could do a small, like a 1/2 volt, and see if I hear a click of the speaker. I'm sure it's fine. Or I can just do, safest thing to do there on the speaker is just do a polarity or a continuity check. See what the ohmage is. I'm not quite sure what the if it's 8 ohms or how many ohms speaker that is. So anyway, we'll get the Squawker board hooked up, and we shall return.
1 minute later.
Okay, we're back. I've got everything hooked up and working perfectly fine. All the wires are connected. I did all the calibration, and as you notice, my voice is triggering Squawker, and his beak is staying up right with when I'm talking, and then he does his random movement. We're sending, impulses to the body motor, and so I'm using a little, my gosh, I've had this for years and years. It's a little amplified speaker, and I have an electric condenser microphone hooked up to this, and I'm taking the output. Let's come back here a little bit, and then I'll bring him forward. So I'm taking the output from here, and then using the cable that he gives you with the Squawker Talker board, and plugging that on one of the inputs right here. And calibrated, like I said, did all the calibration on the board here, and you can see the activity LED flashing right when the audio impulses are hitting this board here. And then this will be a master volume control. I could turn this up here like that, or I can turn it down, either way. And I can just shut the amp off totally and not even have anything coming out of the speaker here. And it's still activating on my voice and doing the random, the gestures, his movements. So I'm going to turn that back up just a little bit. So this is just acting as a line level. It's a microphone preamp basically right now, the way it's running, because if I plug in anything here, this is line level output here. So this has got a pretty powerful little, I think it's a 100 milliwatt amplifier, but it's got a good preamp in it for any kind of microphone, whether it be dynamic or electric condenser. And this one, like I said, is electric condenser, has a small battery in it. So I just wanted to see how well he does with my voice. Of course, anything that I feed this, it's going to react the same way you're seeing here. So the Squawker Talker board is really a fantastic product. I highly recommend it if you have one of these and you want to modify it and do something on your own, and you can do anything, run any kind of audio source to it, and he will react that you're seeing him do right now. So I'm going to pull my camera back up here just a little more. But anyway, it worked fantastic. So once you saw how I got access to the wiring inside the Squawker, and then used the Squawker Talker board, and then did just a little bit of calibration on the gain control, and then on the triggering control, and just a little bit of adjustment on the gain control here for that. So anyway, it worked out great, perfect. And we'll do more testing on it, but so far this thing is working flawless as advertised. And then so if you have a Squawker that you want to do anything to, I'd highly recommend it. So anyway, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing, and we will talk at you all later.